She played matchmaker behind my back with him. My name is Michael. I'm 21 years old, a university student, and what I'm about to share is not just a breakup story. It's about heartbreak from every corner of life, love, family, and the kind of friendship that feels like home until it poisons you. I've lost a lot of people in my life, friends, connections, people I considered my everything. But this one still leaves an ache in my chest that doesn't fade. It's about the people I gave everything to and how they gave me nothing back. When I first joined university, I felt like a tiny drop in an ocean. Everything was new. The endless buildings, unfamiliar faces, the noise of laughter in corridors, the subtle pressure to belong. Everyone seemed to already have their people, their cliques, their comfort zones, their shared memories. And me? I was just there, quiet, observing, existing. I wasn't the kind of girl who easily made friends. I was what people in my city sarcastically call a burger botchy. Soft-spoken, polite, a little naive, and honestly, not street smart. I wasn't into gossip or games. I didn't know how to manipulate or charm my way into social circles. I just treated people with the same warmth and respect I hoped to receive. But in a place where confidence is currency, kindness often gets lost. That is, until I met her. She was everything I wasn't: loud, fearless, and unapologetically herself. She had this way of walking into a room like she owned the air in it. People knew her, respected her, even feared her. She spoke fast, laughed louder, and always had an opinion ready. She was bold in a way I could never be. So imagine my surprise when she chose to talk to me. It started with a casual compliment about my notebook, I think, and then somehow turned into lunch at the same table, then library study sessions, then walks after class. Day by day, our bond grew. She pulled me into her world, taught me how to speak up for myself, how to read people, how to guard my heart a little. She called me her baby nerd, and I laughed, but secretly, I loved it. She made me feel like I belonged. Soon enough, we were inseparable. We'd coordinate our classes, our outfits, even our coffee orders. I began to feel safe around her, the kind of safety you don't feel often as a girl in a big world. I told her everything: my family issues, my childhood insecurities, even the dreams I was too scared to say out loud. She listened. Or at least I thought she did. I remember once when I had a terrible anxiety attack before a presentation, she held my hand under the table and whispered, "You've got this. I believe in you." And in that moment, I believed in me too. People on campus would stop us and say, "You two are like long lost sisters." And I'd smile and say, "She is my sister." That's how much she meant to me. 2 whole semesters passed like this: laughter, late night food runs, inside jokes, secret hand signals across classrooms. If someone asked me who I'd trust with my life, I would have said her name without hesitation. But looking back now, I realize something painful. Not everything that feels real is real. And the first crack in our perfect friendship came not with a fight, but with a single, innocent swipe on a screen. It started on a regular weekday. Nothing special. We were sitting together in the cafeteria, scrolling through her phone, gossiping about a classmate's weird outfit when I noticed she had a message request on Instagram. "Who's that?" I teased, nudging her arm. She shrugged. "Probably spam." Out of playful curiosity, and maybe because I knew her password, I tapped and accepted it. Just for fun. It was a guy, a student from our own university. His profile wasn't private. I recognized his face from the engineering block. He was average looking, but had that wannabe flirt vibe: slick captions, gym selfies, and way too many shirtless mirror pics. I rolled my eyes. Ugh, another thirsty dude. She laughed and replied with a casual, ha ha, chill. I won't text him. But she did. At first, it was nothing. A few replies here and there. She'd show me the conversations, joke about how boring he was. He's just time pass, she'd say, and I believed her. She had just gone through a rough breakup with a toxic guy, and I thought, okay, maybe this is her way of healing. No big deal. Weeks passed. Then I noticed her texting him more, hiding her phone screen, smiling at messages she wouldn't show me, skipping our study sessions, arriving late to class. Once I asked, everything okay? You seem distracted. She waved it off with a grin. Life, yar, midterms, you know how it is. But I knew something was off. Then one afternoon, while she was in the bathroom during our group hangout, her phone buzzed with a message. I wasn't trying to snoop. I really wasn't. But his name popped up. And the message preview said, "Can't wait to see you again. Missing your smile already." I felt a pit in my stomach. When she came back, I asked her gently, "Hey, is something going on between you and that guy?" She paused for a second, then laughed. "Don't be silly. We're just friends." But her eyes didn't match her voice. Later that night, I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I did something I'm not proud of. I opened her chats. I don't even remember what I was expecting. Maybe just casual flirting? But what I saw shattered me. Their conversations were long, detailed, intimate. Not just about classes or jokes. They were sharing feelings. He was calling her babe. She was telling him she wished he'd hold her hand during lectures. There were voice notes, plans to meet off campus, promises of something more. My hands trembled. Not because she liked someone, but because she never told me. I had told her everything, every tiny detail of my life, and she didn't even think I deserved to know about this. I waited a whole day before confronting her. We were walking out of the library when I said, "Hey, so I read your chats with that guy." She froze for a second, then looked at me, completely unbothered. "Oh, yeah. I guess I should have mentioned it. We started off just talking, but yeah, I like him now." Just like that. No apology, no guilt. Just a shrug, like it was no big deal. I stood there, heart pounding, words caught in my throat. "Why didn't you tell me?" I whispered. She looked me in the eye and said, "It wasn't that serious in the beginning, and then I didn't know how to bring it up." That's all she said. No sorry, no explanation. I smiled, like a fool, and said it was okay. That I understood, that I was happy for her. But inside, I felt the first real crack in my heart. Because when someone feels like family, their silence feels like betrayal. And that day, I learned that even the people closest to you can choose not to include you in the most important chapters of their life. But what I didn't know then was that this was just the beginning. The real betrayal was still waiting, and it would come from the same person I once called my sister. By the time we entered our third semester, things had changed. She was no longer just talking to that guy. They were in a full-blown relationship, public, loud, almost performative. They held hands on campus, exchanged gifts openly, shared selfies with cringe captions. And even though it made me a little uncomfortable, watching my best friend, the girl I used to share everything with, build a whole new life without me, I stayed silent. I smiled for her, supported her, even laughed at their inside jokes, because I thought that's what friendship meant, standing by someone even when it hurts a little. I didn't realize that behind all that love and laughter, a different kind of plan was unfolding. It started subtly. She would say things like, "You need someone too, Mikkel," or "You're always alone, let's find you a good guy." I thought it was harmless, caring even. What I didn't know was that she and her boyfriend had already had a conversation about me without me. Apparently, she'd told him that I used to be friends with her ex. Just a friendship, pure, innocent, but she didn't like it. Maybe it made her insecure. Maybe she just wanted to erase all traces of her past. I don't know, but whatever it was, her boyfriend had a plan. He wanted me distracted, distant, involved somewhere else, so he wouldn't have to worry about me being a threat to his relationship. So he introduced me to one of his friends. I didn't question it. We were all from the same campus, same circles. It felt organic, casual. No alarms went off. The guy was polite, decent looking. He carried himself with maturity, the kind that's rare in boys our age. He didn't flirt aggressively, didn't try to impress me with fake charm, and then he said something that melted my guard completely. I'm not here to waste your time. If I'm going to talk to you, it's with the intention of marriage. That one sentence hit me hard, not because I was desperate for marriage, but because finally someone spoke with clarity. No games, no confusion. After everything I had seen in other relationships, including my best friends, this felt safe, clean. So I let my heart soften. He started showing up more, bringing me snacks, waiting for me after lectures, messaging good morning, good night, asking about my day, my dreams, my childhood memories. He remembered things, noticed small details. The way I drank my tea, how I twisted my hair when I was anxious, the kinds of books I like to read. He gave me attention, real, focused attention, and for a girl who had spent so long feeling invisible, that meant everything. Over the next few months, we became a couple. Quietly, carefully. We didn't make grand declarations or post couple selfies. It wasn't about public approval. It was just about us. For the first time, I felt like I had someone who saw me, chose me, wanted to build a future with me. 5 months into our relationship, he looked at me with complete sincerity and said, "I want to send a marriage proposal to your family." My heart stopped. It should have been the happiest moment of my life. The boy I loved wanted to make it official, wanted to marry me. No games, no delays, no, let's wait and see. But instead of joy, I felt terror because I knew my family. I knew what they'd say, and I knew they'd never accept him. My family was conservative, controlling. They believed in arranged marriages and family approved matches. Love, choice, that was rebellion in their eyes. But love makes you brave. So I did something I never thought I could do. I decided to take the first step. I couldn't go directly to my parents. I knew that. So I took a detour. I told my brother-in-law, I thought, maybe he'd understand. Maybe he'd support me. Maybe, just maybe, he'd talk to my sister and they'd help me introduce the guy slowly, gently, respectfully. I had no idea I was walking straight into my own destruction. I still remember the exact moment everything shifted. It wasn't loud. There were no screams, no threats, just a conversation, a quiet, deadly conversation behind my back. I had told my brother-in-law about the guy. I told him we had been talking seriously, that he wanted to marry me, that he came from a good family, that I wasn't being foolish. I begged him to keep it private, at least until I had the courage to bring it up with my mother. He nodded, said, "Don't worry, I understand." But he didn't. That very evening, he told my sister, and my sister told my mom. Within 24 hours, my entire secret relationship became a family scandal. My mother didn't ask questions. She didn't ask who the guy was, what he did, how he treated me. She didn't care about my emotions, my hopes, my future. She just yelled, "Where did you get the courage to do this? You're talking to someone without even telling us?" I cried. I tried to explain that he was serious, that this wasn't some casual crush, that he respected me, loved me, that he was ready to commit. But they weren't listening. They didn't want to understand. They just wanted control. Within minutes, I was stripped of my freedom. My phone was taken. My internet was cut. I wasn't allowed to go to university anymore. My classes gone. My friendships gone. My identity erased. I was suddenly a prisoner in my own home. My sister, who I once admired, scolded me like I was some criminal. She said things like, "You've brought shame to the family. No good man would want a girl like you." But the worst part, the part that broke me forever, was what my brother in law did next. He called the guy, the boy I loved, the boy who wanted to marry me, and he told him I was engaged to someone else. I was in the room. I heard the call with my own ears. I was screaming, sobbing, begging him to stop. "Please, don't lie. Please don't do this. I love him." But he looked me dead in the eye and said, "This is for your own good." And then he ended the call, just like that. No explanations, no mercy. One sentence destroyed everything. He told the guy I was engaged. And that was it. No closure, no goodbye. That boy never contacted me again. He respected the boundary. He believed I had moved on. But the truth, I was still there, still broken, still in love. And no one came for me. Not my sister, not my friend, not even the boy I trusted with my heart. In one single week, I lost everything: my education, my freedom, my dignity. My love story ended. Not with a heartbreak, but with betrayal. By the very people I once called family. By the people who claimed they were protecting me. But protection doesn't look like isolation. Love doesn't feel like imprisonment. And the worst kind of betrayal is the one that comes dressed as care. In the middle of all the chaos, I held on to one hope: her, the girl I used to call my sister, the one who had introduced me to the boy I fell in love with, the one I had cried to, laughed with, shared dreams and fears with. I kept telling myself, maybe she didn't know what had happened. Maybe once she found out, she'd speak up, help them understand, stand by me. Because if anyone knew my heart, it was her. But betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it comes from the ones you love the most. And it cuts deeper because you never saw it coming. When my sister tried to contact her, just to understand the truth, to piece together what had really happened, she didn't defend me. She didn't explain how she and her boyfriend had introduced me to that guy, how it had all started from their suggestion. Instead, she lied. She said I was manipulative, that I had gone behind everyone's back, that I had tried to trap her boyfriend's friend, that I had disrespected my family, that I was too forward, too fast, too emotional. Words I had never heard from her before. Cruel, ugly words. And they didn't just hurt, they shattered me. I thought the worst was over, but that lie, her lie, that was the final knife in my back. Now, we sit in the same class, same row, same room, same familiar walls. But we are strangers. We don't look at each other, don't exchange salam, don't even breathe in the same direction. And it's strange, really, how someone can go from knowing every little detail about your life to acting like you never existed. I still have dreams sometimes of the two of us laughing on the campus lawn, sharing secrets over chai, skipping classes just to vent about life. Then I wake up and remember, she was never really my sister. She was just someone passing through my story. And she left behind nothing but ashes. Time passed, as it always does. The storm quieted. I got my phone back. I was allowed to return to university. My parents began to talk to me again, not warmly, but coldly, with caution or dangerous. I wasn't the same girl who left. I was quieter now, wiser, a little more guarded, a little less trusting. That's when Ali re-entered my life. He was from my neighborhood, someone I'd seen around for years. We had exchanged greetings, the occasional small talk. I never thought much of it. But one day, on campus, we bumped into each other again. I was carrying a pile of books, and he offered to help. Just a simple gesture. But in my broken state, it felt like someone finally seeing me again. We started talking, just casually at first. But then, one evening, he said something I wasn't expecting. I've liked you for a long time. I just never said it before because you were in a relationship. I was stunned. I looked at him, unsure whether to smile or cry. He continued, "But now that I know what happened, I want to be here for you. I want to take care of you. I want to give you the love you were denied." And he meant it. He wasn't like the others. He didn't pretend to be perfect. He didn't play games. He showed up, day after day, gently, quietly, consistently. Ali told his mom and sister about me before he even confessed his full feelings to me. He was serious, loyal, respectful. He protected me from rumors, defended me when people whispered, walked with me on campus like I was someone to be proud of. He cared for me completely. I remember once I was crying over everything I'd lost, my friend, my reputation, my love. And he just sat there quietly, holding my hand. No judgment, no questions, just presence. And then, one night, he said the words I wasn't ready for. "Please don't go back to him. I know you're still hurting, but choose me. I'll give you a life he never could. I love you, deeply, truly. Let me in." His eyes were wet, his voice trembling. Ali was different. He cried for me, waited hours for my messages, got jealous when I spoke to other boys, not in a possessive way, but out of fear that someone else might take the tiny space he was holding onto. He cut off his female friends, got into fights with people who disrespected me. He gave me his whole heart. Broken, honest, raw. And me? I couldn't give him mine. I was still stuck in my past, still replaying scenes that were long over, still hoping for closure from people who had already turned their backs. I couldn't see what was right in front of me. A boy who didn't just love me, but honored me. I kept hesitating, kept pushing him away, saying, "I'm not ready." And then one day, his engagement was announced, arranged, traditional, to a girl his mother picked. Just like that. But the cruel twist, he still loves me. Even now. He messages me sometimes, says he misses me, says he dreams of a different life. A life where I said yes, where I chose him, where we built a future together. A life where he wasn't a backup plan, but the plan. And now, when I see him, with her, laughing, smiling, going through the motions, I realize something heartbreaking. I love him too. But I realized it too late. Now I'm the one watching from a distance. I'm the one dreaming of what could have been. I'm the one crying silently, wishing I could rewind time. But life doesn't wait. People don't pause forever. And sometimes we don't lose people because they stop loving us. We lose them because we weren't ready when they were. And that's a grief that never quite fades. I don't know what my future looks like anymore. I lost my best friend. I lost the man I was ready to marry. And now I've lost the only person who truly loved me. All because I trusted the wrong people. All because I stayed silent when I should have spoken. All because I loved deeply and was punished for it. Everyone says time heals. Maybe it does. But for now, all I feel is the emptiness of being misunderstood and left behind. I wasn't asking for much, just honesty, love, and a little loyalty. But I guess in this world, even that's too much.